For 3 years, Rojava has defended a little-known revolution. It's not only ISIS trying to forge a new society in the Middle East. In northern Syria, Kurdish radicals are trying to build a mini-state in an unprecedented political experiment. But this is no caliphate. It's a grassroots take on representative democracy they say is based on equality, pluralism, and self-sufficiency. Their enemies say they're atheistic one-party state, but they claim they're a model for tolerance in the Middle East. Syria's secret revolution is creating a place like no other in the Middle East, and perhaps the world. Welcome to Rojava. In this week's Aardvark Agenda, we talk to Ercan Ayboga, who is co-author of the new book Revolution in Rojava, Democratic Autonomy and Women's Liberation in Syrian Kurdistan. Ercan Ayboga is an environmental engineer and ecological activist living in North Kurdistan with an intimate knowledge of the Syrian conflict and the revolution currently taking place in Rojava. At his book launch were attended members of the community of County Cavan and those interested in the new and dynamic revolution taking place in this area. So we'll go over for a short interview with Ercan, and then we'll have snippets from his talk at the book launch on December 14th in the Bridge Street Centre in Cavan Town.
My name is Ercan Ayboga.
Mm-hmm. And are you from the area?
I am from the city Diyarbakir, which is also called Ahmed, with a historic name. It is Kurdistan, but not the Syrian part, it is the Turkish part.
Okay. So
very close to Rojava, the Syrian Kurdistan.
Just north of the border?
Yes, 100 kilometers far away. It is in a very old city at the Tigris River.
Okay, excellent. So can you tell us a little bit about the movement and how it's a unique and different type of movement as a cultural and national expression of Kurdish culture?
You're speaking about what's going on in Rojava.
Yeah. How is it unique?
It is unique because amidst the wars in Middle East, and the poorest of Syria liberated the area and set up a society which is oriented along principles of a direct democracy, gender liberation, and an ecological and communal society. And they proceed with it. Also there are wars and they have to defend themselves, and they insist in their principles. And it has become to the, let's say, the democratic way, democratic option for Syria, and in a broader way for the Middle East.
And how has the Syrian conflict, the conflict in Syria, has it presented an opportunity for the Kurdish culture to become a nation, do you think?
Yes, I mean the Kurds, they were in a certain way prepared, but from the very beginning on they said, okay, now a war is coming. This will be not like in Tunisia, where wasn't popular uprising and the dictator has been sent away. This will be a long-lasting war with the involvement of many regional and international powers. That's why we have to organize ourselves. And if we want not to be, massacred, displaced, or whatever else, conquered our territory, we have to organize ourselves and defend ourselves. Though they turned changes into an opportunity. There was a small opportunity, and they used it.
Okay. Yeah.
So now they are very strong within Syria. They have not only liberated Rojava, the West Kurdistan, the mainly Kurdish populated areas, also they have started an alliance with non-Kurds, especially Arabs and also Syriacs, to liberate areas where in majority Arabs live.
Okay. Yeah.
So this process is still going on, and now we have a campaign against the capital of terror organization Islamic State, Raqqa.
Yeah. And the Kurds are leading the way in this process, yeah?
Yes, they have the idea. They said they defined what kind of society they want.
Mm-hmm.
They want something which gives freedom to the Kurds and but also to other people in Rojava, the non-Kurds, and at the same time opens or gives a perspective for more democracy and more equality in Syria, and to overcome all these nationalistic, chauvinistic, or Islamistic or religious fundamentalist approaches. So the third way, say, okay, neither this nor this, we want this.
Okay, excellent. And as a Turkish Kurd, is what is happening in Rojava, is it inspiring Kurds in Turkey and Iraq to rise up and perhaps form a new Kurdistan?
I mean, let's say this, the revolution in Rojava has been successful because of the support from the North Kurds, the Turkish Kurds, and many people went there to join it, to fight, especially in Kobani, and also Kurds from the other two parts, from the Iraqi and Iranian parts came, and the Syrian Kurds, they took ideas from already experience and experiments in Turkish Kurdistan, but they developed it far, much better, deeper, broader way. And now, especially in the last 3-4 years, it's inspiring us. Yes, of course, it's inspiring us, and it's affecting also Iraqi Kurds. Although the main party there, the KDP, the Democratic Kurdistan Party of Barzani, the regional president, and the Republican Union of Kurdistan, they resist what's going on. I mean, especially the KDP has implemented an embargo against the... because they are representing a more, let's say, neoliberal, conservative way, and not direct democracy. It's more an authoritarian way, and they don't want it, but the most part of the Turkish Kurds, they support them. And yes, there's also an internal Kurdish way struggle. It's not war, but there are big differences. Yes, it is a situation, and but nevertheless, it's important that the Kurds back each other. Also, they have not the same ideologies, and if they can do it better, and the project in Rojava will be successful.
Excellent. Do you think that if the project in Rojava is successful, that it will then lead to perhaps in some years to becoming the future of Kurdistan nation? Finally,
about the Kurds, so let's say the Kurdish freedom movement, the left one, which is dominant among the Syrian Kurds and the Turkish Kurds, and also more among the Iranian Kurds, less among the Iraqi Kurds, says we don't give up the right to self-determination, but we don't want an own state. We want freedom for us, of course, highest level equality, but this is connected to basic democratic standards in the 4 states of Turkey, Iran, Iraq, and Syria. So our freedom is connected to democracy in the 4 states. That's why we must fight together with democratic forces in these 4 states. Or at least bring... the reality is that they bring together, as these in Turkey and Syria, the Kurds, they are the forces who bring together the democratic and left forces together to develop an alternative perspective, an alternative in these 2 states. In these 2 states, the Kurds are crucial elements for democracy in these 2 states.
So the Kurdish movement is growing democracy at a grassroots level in all the states that they're...
Yes, wherever they set up communes, councils, assemblies, many commissions on the ground, try to involve as much as people, ordinary people. it's not only party structure. There are parties, the PYD in Syria and the PKK, the Kurdistan Workers' Party in Turkey, but they say we must set up these committees on the lowest level, empower people, and this will have a sustainable effectivity. This is important, so the people learn how to organize themselves, organize social life, cultural life, the defense, political area, everything.
Excellent. And finally, can I ask you, what can we here in Ireland? How can we help? If there's anything you can say to help us, to help you?
The help for us is actually also help for the Irish people themselves, because we speak about solidarity, which is two ways always. And when the Syrian Kurds set up this model in Rojava, they benefited from all the experience all over the world, yes, of course. And this, without all the experiences, mainly negative, we would not have done this. So there's an area free of the Syrian state, where a new model is developed. It's a kind of experiment, of course, and it's progressing. And beside many problems and challenges, really important, war and embargo, they are doing a lot of important stuff. How democracy can be developed, real democracy, how democratic economy can be developed, means communal economy. And there are a lot of experiences, interesting things, what people all around the world can learn. Some ideas. Or the liberation of women is very crucial, as dominating, characterizing every part of the society and the organizations. So what you can do here is to spread, of course, information, but sometimes there's certain areas and more technical issues need of help there. There's an embargo, and the embargo must be broken. And the interest and legitimacy which the movement has, especially with the resistance in Kobani 2 years ago, this must be maintained and developed. So this can be done through following the issues there, spreading information, discussions, and also to make pressure on the government, the powers here in Ireland to say, here, this is a model, why you're doing not more for them? Yes, there's an embargo, why you don't act? This is a democratic option. Everybody's speaking about Syrian war, but not really what's going on there. This is an option. You're just excluding it in your politics. You must do more. This is not correct what you're doing. This must be criticized.
Okay, excellent.
And of course people can come to Rojava. It's difficult, but sometimes maybe few people can come. And
so it's possible to travel to Turkey at the moment and then travel to...
From Turkey, not from Iraqi Kurdistan. It's very difficult, but it must be challenged.
Yes. And finally, the book that you're launching tonight.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the book? And I understand that you'll be selling the book, and it's also available on Amazon, and it's available from ordering from local bookshops here too. So can you tell us a little bit about the book and what's in it?
Yes, the book has aimed to bring all this information to the international public, to go in depth, give basic information, what's going on in the different areas, what I have described. And we are 3 people who wrote this book. The 2 other friends are in Germany, but they know the Kurdish freedom movement for more than 20 years. And we were in Rojava, and we made 120 interviews and so on, and we are following it, and we were a second time there. So it's a first-hand information on international level, which you cannot find in any other book. This makes it special. And it has been published in English by Pluto Press in London, but bookstores in London have it, or Connell, I guess. Amazon has it, and maybe